Welcome to Retrained Search, the podcast, where we lift the lid on what it's really like to work retained, discuss the stories we've gathered along the way, and give you all a peek behind the scenes of our amazing community and how they're getting ahead. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. To episode
15. We know it's 15 because we checked.
I was talking to someone the other day. I had a call with a prospective customer, and he said to me, "Downloaded your podcast." He said, "I've added it to my playlist."
Oh,
That's very kind of you. And he said, "I've been toying with this podcast thing." And I said to him, "Yeah." He said, "I just feel like there's got to be consistency. So like when I search for retained search on podcast or executive search," he said, like, most of them have got like 2 episodes and they've not done an episode in 18 months or whatever. I said, I'm sure I remember seeing somewhere that like 95% of podcasts fail or don't get to episode 20.
Yeah.
5 to go.
5 to go.
That's it, then we're stopping. I'm joking. We're not stopping.
No way. I love it. It's great. And we get a chance to chat, which we don't very often.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like mine and your one-to-one.
Yeah. And I've only just got back from holiday, so I haven't seen you for ages. So I'll just drop that in there. I just got back.
Tell us all about the holiday. I want to know all about it. I joined our team call a bit late this morning and kind of got the back end of...
So, well, basically, I've just come back from Montana in North America, which was a place I never would have gone. I'm pretty sure I never would have gone if it wasn't for a client of ours that is from there, had said to me they were coming to the UK a couple of years ago, and I'd said, well, come and see us, and ended up coming and staying with us for a few days while they were here, which was awesome. And then they said, well, why don't you come and see us in Montana? And I thought, oh yeah, great, okay, I'll do that one day. And then I thought, you know what? Okay, we're going to go. So I took Harry, we went to Montana. We did 4 days skiing in the most incredible resort called Big Sky. For anyone listening that knows that, like, where's that been all my life? It's changed my whole perception of skiing. I now had a very happy skiing experience. And then we went for a few days and stayed with Jason and Tracy in Bozeman. It's like, the only way I can describe it, and I was saying to the team this morning, is like otherworldly. And I know Iceland was a bit like that for us because we were a bit like that in Iceland. Yeah. That was a bit otherworldly. That was a bit like moonscape type thing.
Yeah.
This is otherworldly in a different way because everything's so big. The mountains are so big. Huge. And I've spent a lot of time in the Alps, and this is like another just different scale. And then the landscapes are so big, and the sky is so big, and the cars are so big, and just everything's really big, right? And even the people...
It sounds like I should live in Montana.
It's amazing. Yeah, you'd love it. Oh my God, you'd love it.
And Jordan's so big.
Oh God. And anyway, and I said, like, even the people, there's this sort of otherworldliness about the people, and we were talking about it in the ski kind of group, the lessons that I was skiing in, and the ski instructor said the thing about, because I said the people here just seem like so kind of in a way like bigger than life, and he's like, the thing about the people here is because they're so connected to nature, they believe in something greater than us, and so they've got this sort of aura, they've got this kind of calm, just amazing, like grounded assurance about them that is just like from another world. And so the whole thing was incredible. And it feels like I've come back, and I thought while I was there, I said to Harry, about 3 days in, it feels like we're in a dream. It feels like this isn't really happening. And I've come back and I'm like, it's like that. It's like, did it really happen? It was so good. So yeah, anyone that either lives there, you're so lucky, and anyone that gets the opportunity to go there, apparently it is booming. Well, you can see it is, like, it's getting really popular now with North Americans, and I can see why. So that's where I've been for a week. Nice. And you've been, well, I was going to say holding the fort, but killing it basically while I've been away.
Everything's we've done a lot. We've done a lot. Yeah. Last week was intense, but exciting and really good, and our members are killing it too.
Yeah, we have.
One of the advancements is we're going to Australia, aren't we?
Yes. I know. I've been talking about going to Australia, haven't we? Both for ages, and I've never been and always wanted to go. And now, what's the plan?
Well, we're going to be there. Well, it's the 9th of May, isn't it? We're presenting. We're privileged to have been asked to present at RCSA's Talent X conference in Melbourne on the 9th of May, which is very exciting. I got my swim shorts out and my flip-flops ready, and then I was told it's not even going to be that hot, but that's fine. That's cool. We're still excited to go. So yeah, we're going to be there. I think for the whole, we haven't even decided how long we're going to be there, but probably for the whole week, I'd have thought. So anyone listening in Australia, we would
come and see us.
Come see us. We'd love to meet you.
Conference, but we're also going to do an event of ourselves. I think we should do it in Sydney, first half of that week.
Yes, with our very good friend and former podcast guest, Mr. David Wolstenholme.
Dave Wolstenholme, we're going to do a personal branding work and retained search workshop of some description, and it's going to be the 6th or 7th of June in Sydney. There, you heard it here first. No one else knows this in the public domain.
Yeah.
So we'll be pushing it out soon to let you know how to get tickets and how to come and see us. Yeah, it's very exciting. And the other exciting thing that's been happening while I've been away is I've just been collating all the wins that have been happening while I've been away.
Loads of them. So many.
Oh my God. What is going on?
Well, I think the market's picking up. I do. But also the knowledge, the confidence, the capability of our members is picking up and increasing. And they're seeing they can do it once and they're doing it again and again and again. I love this one.
Yeah, I do. I mean, these are new to me, so I'll read them out and then you can give us some context. Second win, for those of you that aren't watching on the screen and listening, it says existing client. It's a low-level role. So there's an indicator that it doesn't need to be senior because it doesn't.
Yeah.
But a tricky one to fill, possibly for multiple vacancies within the group. And I want to get this across the line. My first retained is moving to second stage with 3 candidates going back in. Oh, nice. And the second invoice is sent out. Crikey, this is very different, it says.
I love the ending. So this is the crikey, this is very different. This is Alan, who a few weeks ago won his first one and put, I'm gobsmacked that I've won it.
Oh, yeah.
He likes the little one-liner sign-offs. Yeah, he's doing so. I saw his pitch actually a couple of days ago. And I mean this in the nicest possible way to Alan, right? But I'm saying it more as a motivation to all of you listening.
It wasn't very good.
It isn't even anywhere near as good as it will be yet.
Yeah,
he's done an amazing job, right, in such a short space of time to get that pitch to where it's at already.
Yeah.
But, it's going to be so much better in 2 weeks' time.
And he's already winning. Here's motivation for those.
And he's won two retains. I mean, we say, don't we often, the bar is set bloody low. Most people out there pitching retain, winging it, are doing a really bad bloody job.
Yeah, all you need to do is a little bit better than them. Yeah.
The amount of people I've spoke to that have said, yeah, I've got the pitch nailed down. And I go, oh, really? Tell me more. And they say, well, I'll just say to them, if you want me to commit, you've got to commit.
Oh, bingo, yeah. I mean, if it was only
there we go. Boom. Take my money.
I know, yeah. Well, it's like they say in tennis. We had proper tennis coaching a few weeks ago. But you heard of Skupski doubles?
Yeah. So yes, I have. I was playing on the court next to the Skupski brothers about 6 weeks ago.
No, and did you know?
So my doubles partner last year, true story. This, God, isn't this funny? I just stumbled across this. Growing up, was Neil Skupski's double partner.
But he got dished.
Yeah, he hasn't played much tennis. He's one of them people now who plays once every 6 months, and he's just insanely good. But when he was growing up, he was like a superstar alongside the Skupskis. Yeah. So yeah, I know who they are. I do.
Teaching from the Skupski's coach, one of the Skupski coaches.
Right.
And he came and he teaches the system they use, which isn't side by side.
Right, okay.
It's front and back. So one's a sweeper at the back and the other's in the middle at the net. So it's really different from what we've been taught before. So it was really good and I loved it because I like new things and I like experimenting with change, as do you. We're both very similar in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, why am I talking about tennis? Oh, I know. It's because he said partway through, and it's not stopped resonating with me. You don't have to win all the points. You just have to win more than them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no way. It's made every match I've played since then. It's made me feel so much. It doesn't matter if I lose that. All I need to do is win more than them. And it's a bit like this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be fucking better than those that are out there at the moment.
But that depends, doesn't it?
Shown that.
Because if you can use that in a positive way, or you could do what I'd do, come off court going, fucking hell, I got beat again. I don't even need to win every point. I just need to win more than them. I can't even do that.
No, it didn't. That's not what it did for me. It was good for me. And here's another one, a nice email. Hey, Louise and Claire, I hope you're both keeping well. I just thought I'd share with you a success story so far. Me and my colleague finished your course with the team, I believe, at the beginning of September. So pretty much 5 months this week, and with a Christmas and New Year in between. To date, we have secured 14 retained projects between us with an estimated value of around £140,000. Wow. We knew our market would respond rather well, but we did not expect things to be this good. Hoping to be fully retained by the end of the year, fingers crossed. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to you both. Your course rocks, which it does.
Yeah, that was Amrit, I think, wasn't it?
So thank you very much, sir. That is very kind of you.
Yeah, and well done to both.
And well bloody done.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Here's a little short and sweet one, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, it isn't. It is short and sweet, but there's a few wins in here. So yeah, won a retainer today for a multi-hire. Flexed on the payment stages. That's fine. Starting in 2 weeks. I've also got a proposal meeting on Friday and a pitch tomorrow.
Yeah, boom. And Emma was 100% contingent. Never even thought about retained when we first met her. Yeah. So that's incredible. Yeah. Another one, methodology and mindset. I like that. I like the title of this one.
Alliteration.
She says, I think it's a she.
It is. It's Gemma.
Hey guys, just a shout. They only did their pitch coaching session with me the other day.
Yeah.
For forcing me to change the narrative to a more, just a shout out. So big thank you to the team for forcing me to change the narrative to a more method-based chat with my clients. Oh, yes. My first opportunity this year on a call, and the client agreed that the retained was the best method for this hire. Hallelujah. For me, this is 100% mindset shift, and you simply cannot do this alone. Well, I mean, some people do, but it takes them a while, usually. I think we help a lot of people get there quicker. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was saying, yeah, we do. We help them get there quicker, don't we? Yeah, there's a big shift.
She says, I may not have mastered how to share my Zoom screen yet. She couldn't do it. It took us ages. And there's another one, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. She's not there yet. They've only been doing this for like 3 weeks, something like that. But I've learned some amazing ways of framing my discussion. So even by just reframing the discussion, the clients agreed that retained is the best route.
That's a nice point. And so I know I'm going a bit off on a tangent here, right? But we often talk about things that we've been helping people with. And one of the things I helped people with this week, just in a pitch coaching session, was just helping them relax into it and just be human.
Yeah.
And actually, like, struggling to share your Zoom screen is not an issue.
No.
Like, you're human. It's absolutely cool. The client sits at the other side probably thinking, oh shit, yeah, I'm really bad at this too. I can never share my Zoom screen when I need to.
Yeah, exactly. Another one, win from a marketing document, and we're seeing this more and more. The more work that Sarah does with her digital marketing course, which is in beta mode, by the way, it's not available publicly yet, only available to mastermind members. But the more she does and the more she supports with the digital marketing, the more wins we see come from it. Yep. Hi, everyone. A few months back, I started sending out marketing documents and case studies to target prospects. These include industry news, recent assignments, and candidates. One client came back to one I sent asking for more information, which I shared. They had a role but didn't want a full search completing. They did, however, want to meet the candidate, who was a managing director. 3 successful meetings, they moved to offer last week with the candidate accepted, and has resulted in my biggest fee ever. If you aren't sending out relevant content, and the way that we position spec CVs for retained is slightly different from the way that you would spec in contingently, and it works beautifully.
Really
She
well.
says, don't give up. Another one, new client and search. I'm so happy that I picked up a new VP of operations. I don't know who this is.
It's Louise.
Oh, I'm so happy I picked up new VP of operations search for a new client. They signed on Friday. I received payment today to start the search. So, you know what I was doing this evening? Searching through hundreds of profiles on LinkedIn.
To confirm, not our Louise. Must be something in the name.
Yeah,
Maybe
not
that's
our.
what it is.
Another one, first ever retainer one. Whoop, whoop. Just wanted to
I
share
love this one.
first ever retainer with a new client, feeling chuffed. Who's
And the
that?
thing I would add to that, Sophia,
Sophia,
off the top of
yes.
my head, 14, 15 months experience in recruitment.
Yes, very new.
Something like that. Relatively green, right? Like, you can do this. You really can.
Yeah, you can. And finally, Retrained, my best 2023 initiative. Happy New Year. This course was my top 2023 decision. In September, I was looking at a blank slate, and then I met Jordan. Fast forward, fast forward 5 months on, January the 4th, I executed my first retained search contract. The project plan is on track. We will confirm our candidate shortlist next week. And yesterday, I confirmed bookings for the MD and division director to fly into Boston for face-to-face interviews on the shortlisted candidates. We are looking forward to having a contracted candidate on or before the March the 1st. Thank you to the Retrained team and my cohort members. So nice. So that is a nice welcome back from holiday. I'm very excited. So what have you been helping people with recently, Jordan, while I've been away?
Do you know, there's been a lot of talk the last week around diagnostics. And it's a massive, massive shift, not just for the consultant on our side of the fence, right, or the business owner or the leader, or whoever it might be, but also for the customer. So one of our members was telling me yesterday he's really, really put focus on trying to enter a diagnostic conversation with the client. And what I mean by that for anyone listening is a real pain discovery, understanding their challenge, understanding their needs, what's going on. And he said the challenge he faces, the customer keeps trying to drag him back into a briefing call. The customer keeps saying things like, yeah, okay, I get that, but let me tell you where they need to be based and what the salary is.
Yeah.
It's a mindset shift, I think, firstly.
Yeah, but also you always say you have a really good sentence for this to say, well, tell me what it is, because I won't do it.
So I got to this because
you had the same problem.
They were trying to drag me into briefing calls, and also I was asking some bigger questions, and I could almost hear them thinking, "Why is he asking me that? Nobody else ever asks me that."
Yeah, none of us.
So what I started doing is setting up the conversation by saying we work with our clients in different ways depending on the circumstance. First, let me reassure you, we can absolutely help you with it. I want to and will help you with it. But it's imperative that I recommend the right solution to solve the specific challenge you face.
Yeah.
So we'll have time for the nitty-gritty stuff about the actual position. But first, I need to understand more about what's been done in it so far. What needs to happen? What do you need to achieve? When do you need to achieve it by? Why? In order to ensure that the solution we recommend is the right one.
And importantly, what methods have they used before, and how effective have they been? Yeah, I agree. It is a constant work to move from a contingent order taking mentality into a consultative position, and the diagnostic is like the starting point of that.
Yeah, it's interesting because the member in question, the one I'm talking about, one of his colleagues was on the call too, and he kind of challenged it a little bit and said, well, can't we just do the briefing call and then pitch? And I said, firstly, how do you pitch without doing the diagnostic, right? Like how do you know that retain is the right solution to the problem without doing it? So firstly, that makes it difficult. But secondly, I think you've got to break the cycle for the customer. Not just for you, you've got to get the customer viewing things differently and thinking about things in a different way. And if you take them down the same route they always go down, if you go straight into a briefing call, they're not going to look at this challenge in any different way than they normally do.
Yeah, I agree. And we're constantly working on that to change mindset and then behaviour. What have I been helping people with? We were talking about it before, weren't we?
Skiing.
Yeah, because I'm such a pro now.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm passing out.
Be careful, because I'll be taking us all to Chill Factor near the Trafford Centre for our next team building day.
Do you ski?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I'm not great. I mean, as you know, I do suffer with overconfidence at times, but I'll be honest about skiing. I can ski reds-ish.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But if they're tough reds, I'm a parallel skier. Yeah, parallel ski. Yeah. But yeah, I'm self-taught, and it frustrates me because my wife is a brilliant skier, and it infuriates. And every time, she's been going since she was a baby and been in ski school every time. And every time she goes, "Can't you just be happy with me that I'm good at something?" And I'm like, absolutely not. No, it infuriates me.
I don't know whether I would be a better skier than you then.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I'll go with yes.
Anyway, that's not what I've been helping people with. I've been helping people with, in the few days that I've been back, basically with, like, well, you put it quite well, didn't you? Because there was a guy I went out with that you'd worked with, and I went out to see a client with him, and he'd been historically doing kind of mid-level engineering hires. It was quite a big retail organization. We went out to their warehouse in like some, industrial estate, and we're sat in this reception and having a chat with VP of HR or HRD, something like that. And there was loads of difficult positions, and we weren't doing well on them on a contingent basis. We needed to get a retainer to be able to solve them, and that's why I was there to help him get the retainer. But in the pitch, I explained that, for easy to fill, straightforward, everyday positions, we're happy working on a contingent basis, no win, no fee, and it works perfectly well in those situations, right? But if it's niche, if it's challenging, if it's in any way complex or confidential or more difficult, or the contingent model's fallen over, then we instead apply a retained methodology, right? That's our headhunting service. And then I said, and for some of our clients that are making executive and senior appointments, we apply a full executive search process, and that includes formal referencing and behavioural profiling and face-to-face interviewing. And he went, "Wait a minute, I didn't know that you did executive positions."
Mm-hmm. And
the guy sat with me, was like, "Oh my God." And then he went, "So would you deal with a confidential executive hire?" And I said, "Yeah, that's quite often the case with executive positions. It's quite often sensitive and needs to be done discreetly." Oh, that's a relief, because I need an expert in this field, but I didn't know you worked at that level. And I've got a confidential ops director position that I need to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Can we do that now, or shall I let you finish? And there's no way in this world that he would have said that if we hadn't have actually said. And you said earlier, like, someone had asked you, like, how I want to do more executive work.
Yeah.
Like, I do that.
And I'd said to them, "Okay, do you tell people you do that?" He was like, "No. Probably a good starting point, right?
But we do things all the time. Like, we've just been solving a problem in our business, and we've solved it. Well, we're in the middle of solving it, and we're like, "Why didn't we do that before? Why didn't we think of that before?" It's frustrating, but some of the best solutions are the obvious ones.
We share a coach, don't we? And I was speaking to Rebecca about this yesterday, and I was saying, it's a bit frustrating. But I look back and think we probably should have done this 6 months ago, or sorry, she'd shout at me for that. Here's what we could do. Yeah, here's what we could do, right? And she said, "But you need to reframe it and just think you did the best you could with the thinking you had at that time." Absolutely. It wasn't like we thought, "Oh, we could do this," and we thought, "Nah, let's leave it." we just didn't have the thinking at that time, right? That's cool.
Not the capacity, really. We've got a better team now. We're a stronger team. We've got a better system for solving problems. The tracking system, the EOS model, for anyone that doesn't hear us rave about that, is what has led us to solve this problem. But that's another conversation. So yes, if you want to do executive work, then explain to your clients that you do it as part of the way that you work. That's what I've been helping people with recently. And then that moves us to some controversy. We've been noticing a bit of a theme about something that's a bit sensitive, but there's a few people like shouting about how good
You're
they
more
are.
sensitive than me. Shit retained search coaches. I'll say it.
Okay, all right. Well, that's said. Good. I'm glad you've said that. So that's what. But they look like they're really good, or they tell people they're really good, and they're bragging about it all over LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff, and they sell the dream. But we've been getting the people that have been working with those people and then ended up in not a brilliant place, haven't we?
We've even had one, didn't we, a few weeks ago? And I don't know whether we talked about this in another podcast. I don't think we have. Who asked to speak to a couple of existing customers for another trainer and was told no unless you commit to us. Which just like blows my mind. Like someone wants to do the due diligence, they should do that. We encourage it. I'm not saying whether it's us or whether it's somebody else you choose to be trained by, that's cool. All I'm saying is if you want to speak to any of our members, we encourage it, and other people, other trainers, they should do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, we do. We're constantly putting people in touch with existing members, previous customers, just to check out and do their due diligence. It's so important. So to be told that they're not allowed to do that unless they pay for the course is nonsensical. So yeah, don't let anyone like fob you off with that. But this is a bit different, isn't it? Because what we've ended up with is we've ended up having conversations with people, and I have, and you have, and it's cropped up several times now that it's kind of becoming something that we want to talk about, that have invested time, money, energy, effort, headspace. The opportunity cost of that's horrible to think about, isn't it?
Hope is a big one, right? Like
Yeah,
some of these
hope
people,
it, yeah.
they are so what's the word? Cautious, maybe. And it's just because of a poor experience.
Yeah. And they've been they basically ended up with nothing, haven't they? I mean, you said it before when we were talking, like this one guy you'd spoken to recently had said, like, he literally got nothing from it. Are you going to actually teach me how to win retainers?
That was what he said to me. He said, listen, this is what happened last time. I got nothing from it. Like, are you actually going to teach me how to do it though? Like, I was like, well,
It's like,
what
what else would we be doing?
Yeah, like, yes. And you're actually going to show me.
Yes, we are.
I'm thinking, is this a loaded question? Like, am I missing something here?
Trick
I'm like,
question.
yes. And it's a training course. Yes. And you'll help me. Yes. Great. That's exactly what I want.
Okay. It's so funny. Yeah, and someone else I spoke to said one of the thing that he'd done had ended up telling him he needed to eat healthily, and he needed to meditate in the mornings, and he was like, fuck's sake, man, this is not helping me win retainers. It is not helping me convert my contingent work to retained.
With his
He was
said
really
it proudly with his six-pack sticking out because he's eating healthily.
His very zen brain. And he also said that when he said this is a crock of shit, give me my money back, the guy tried to take him to court, like threatened him with legal action.
Yeah.
So yeah, not only did he not get his money back, he got a whole host of horrible letters when he tried to feedback about the course to say that it wasn't what he wanted or expected. So yeah, beware, please, all of you. So we want to finish with mindset, because that's what we do, a little minute on mindset. And we wanted to leave you today with something that came up on another podcast, actually, because I recorded a podcast yesterday, and the guys were asking me about watch the LinkedIn, because it'll be out soon. Were saying their audience is basically most of them not working on a retained basis, but would like to be.
Yeah.
and a lot of them struggling with it and not managing to get there. And when they were asking, like, what is the biggest difference? Can you explain the biggest difference between retained and contingent? And they've asked lots of different people that question and got different answers. And that's why they wanted a clear answer. And the answer for me, for us, is retained search is the financial commitment from a client that allows you to put in place a robust process and commit to working with them until you reach a result. And that's not to say that the contingent model isn't effective or doesn't have a place, because it does, because in many cases the contingent model works just fine. If it's low level, if it's easy to fill, if there's loads of talent available, in lots and lots of cases it works perfectly well. But in a lot of situations it doesn't. If it's niche, if it's challenging location, if it's confidential, if it's in any way more complex and the contingent model's fallen over, then it's necessary to put in place a more rigorous process and commit to working with the client until we reach a result.
But not just any result, Lou.
The best result that is available to us all in the market at this time. And that was pretty revelationary for them. They were like, oh my God. Say that again. So I did. And then they were like, God, that's so much clearer. Like, it's a solution to the problems that the contingent model doesn't solve. There you go. So suddenly things start to look a bit different when you're looking at problems, problematic hires, difficult vacancies. Instead of looking for the newest job first, flip it around, look at the oldest. That's the kind of shift in thinking for retained. And yes, there's a whole executive world. Yes, there's a whole retained search world. And yes, there's executive solutions and mapping and pipelining. But to begin with, all it needs to be is a solution to the problems that the contingent model doesn't solve. And then the rest of it starts to open up from there.
Yeah, just learn to put your skis on first.
Yeah.
And then you'll start skiing down the mountain.
Then we can help you parallel.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thanks, Lou. See you in episode 16, everyone.
Well, that's another episode of Retrained Search, the podcast in the bag. Thanks for listening to our wild tales, LinkedIn controversies, and our top tips on how to sell and deliver retained search. Get involved in our next episode. Send in your questions and share your experiences with us by emailing podcast@retrainedsearch.com. And don't be shy. Connect with us on LinkedIn and come and say hi. We don't bite. Unless you're a Shrek firm, that is. We want to say a special thank you to our retrained members for sharing what's working for them right now and innovating new ways to grow and evolve. It's an incredible community. If you're wondering what exactly we mean when we mention our communities, well, we have two separate programs. Our Search Foundations program is for recruiters who want to learn how to sell and deliver retained search solutions consistently. And we have our Search Mastery program. That's for business leaders or owners already at 50% retained or more and looking to scale and grow and structure their search firm. We cap memberships to these programs to protect the integrity of the community. If you want access, just talk to us. Okay, thanks for listening. We'll be back very soon with